And welcome to Speak for Yourself, Marcellus Wiley. Whoa! What color is that? Opaque?
Sir, it's brown.
Brown? That ain't brown. That ain't doo-doo brown. It's like, what kind of brown is that? It's like taupe or something? Something like that? Mac makeup?
Start the show.
All right, well, let's talk for 2 hours and hopefully another Kwame Brown mixtape doesn't drop. But let's get it started right here in L.A. Look at him trying to be humble. He ain't. Where the Lakers host the Warriors tonight in the 7 versus 8 play-in game. Wow, Lakers have won 5 straight, but LeBron has only played in 2 of those games and left one of them with ankle issues. Golden State is riding a 6-game win streak paced by scoring leader Stephen Curry. So Acho in one of them colors. Who do you trust more tonight, LeBron or Steph?
Steph Curry. And it's because you asked me who do I trust more tonight. You didn't ask me who do I trust more in general. You didn't ask me who has a more illustrious sports career. You asked me who do I trust more tonight. Yeah, now, I trust the Lakers more than the Warriors. For those that are hard of hearing and for those that are harder of comprehension, let me say it again.
I like that.
I trust the Lakers more than I trust the Warriors, but I trust Steph more than I trust LeBron. Why? Because Steph is healthy, big dog.
And?
What you mean, and? Here's the difference.
Okay, yeah, I could derail you right now.
The cats at home will sit there and be like, man, I'll take a 75% LeBron over 100% Steph.
Thank you.
No. You've been in locker rooms of sports, of different sports, and you understand fully that somebody is 70, 75% is not the same as somebody who is fully capable at 100%. Now, we're not going to act like Steph Curry already didn't lead the league in scoring at 33 years of age, but bump the age. We're not going to act like he didn't lead the league in scoring. So what I need to make sure we all identify is this.
What?
LeBron James missed 26 out of 30 games to end the season. That means he played in 4 of the last 30 games to end the season. 2 of those 4 games, he had to leave because of injury. 2 of the 4, Sel. So why am I going to bet on the individual? And I love LeBron James. If y'all watch the show long enough, y'all know. Where LeBron goes, I go. Where he stays, I stay. Why would I bet on a LeBron James who has only played in 26 out of the last 30, who hasn't played in 26 out of the last 30, and the 4 he's played in, he had to leave 2 due to injury. Meanwhile, in that same span that LeBron has missed 26 over 30, Steph has had 8 40-point games, 21 30-point games, 5 games with 10 threes or more, and he's averaged 37 points per game. Now, Marcellus Wiley, again, I did not go to Columbia, and I only finished high school in Algebra 2 as far as mathematics.
But you got 2 masters.
1
3?
master's. 1 master's, 2 degrees.
Well, it's at UT, I thought.
All you got to know is this. While LeBron James was trying to get healthy, Steph Curry was becoming the best player in the world this season.
Golly.
And for that reason, tonight,
yes,
I trust the Lakers.
You trust the Lakers?
But I trust Steph Curry.
You don't trust your take. That's what happens right there. You try to split your own damn take. Woo, let me help you out, big dog. I trust LeBron James. You should trust LeBron James. Ain't no thing to the king going out there against Steph Curry. 100% of Steph Curry against the Lakers with LeBron on it is not going to be good enough versus 75% of the king. Let's start here. I don't even want to give LeBron his props right now. I want to make LeBron wait for this. Let's talk about what Steph Curry's going to face. He's going to face the best defensive rated team in the NBA.
True.
Okay. Well, he's going to face the number 2 scoring defense in the NBA. Okay. All right. Now, you brought up a stat before I even give LeBron his flowers, talking about Steph Curry out there getting 40 points a game or more. Do you know that LeBron has more 40-point playoff games against Steph than Steph has overall in his entire career? Woo! Sonny them, how did LeBron do it? Now let's give LeBron some flowers. Dozen, please. You ready for this? LeBron James is looking at Steph Curry like, all right, I'm not right. I'm compromised. My ankle is at least fatigued, compromised, injured, wherever you want to go with it. What's your excuse, Steph, when you see us in L.A. at Staples Center? Because Steph Curry's 3-point shooting in the last 8 games against the Lakers at Staples Center. You ready for this? Yeah, DOC. 1 for 10. 0 for 10. 4 for 10. 3 for 9, 2 for 10, 1 for 9, 3 for 12, 2 for 7. Sound like Acho playing, but it's not. It's Steph Curry. 16 for 7. 20.8%. Yuck. So all I'm saying is give me all of Steph Curry, because when Steph Curry is in Staples Center going against these Lakers, all ain't enough.
Here's the issue at hand, and it's no condemnation on you, Marcellus Wiley. There's just a little lack of foresight. Okay, it's no condemnation.
You mean I can't see in front of me?
Look, y'all, this is what I need y'all to realize.
What?
Yes, LeBron James is better than Steph. Okay. It's undeniable. LeBron James is a better player than Steph.
Yeah.
But LeBron James is not healthy, and you can be a better player and not be playing better in that moment. And Steph Curry is playing the best basketball, arguably or inarguably, of his career.
I like that.
Now, Sal, I'm going to hit you in a lane where it may hurt, and I said lane for a reason because I'm going to talk track and field.
Yes, let's go.
Look, y'all, we all know that Usain Bolt has a better career than anybody that has ever run track and field that is a man. Usain Bolt does, clearly. Usain Bolt is better than Justin Gatlin. We all know that.
Carl Lewis? I like Carl Lewis' career better, but okay, keep going. I'm just saying.
But we know this
He started
much.
this gangster stuff. Okay.
In 2017, at the World Championships, Usain Bolt loses
Don't do that.
to Justin Gatlin. And not only did he lose in the 100 meters, y'all see the picture right there in the 4x1, Jamaica didn't finish the race because Usain Bolt came up hurt, because Usain Bolt was older. What are the parallels? Everything. Usain Bolt is better than all other American sprinters. LeBron James is better than all other American basketball players, including Steph Curry.
Great point.
Usain Bolt was older. Usain Bolt got hurt. LeBron James is older. LeBron James has been hurt. LeBron has only played 4 out of the last 30 games. 2 of those he has ended hurt. Usain Bolt ended his career hurt, laying down on the track. LeBron James goes to the locker room because he's hurt. Sal, you saw that. You know track better than anybody. Maybe not me, but you know track better than most.
And all the bold.
But you know this, dog.
Yeah.
Yes, LeBron is better than Steph, but if we talking about tonight and one person healthy, give me Steph Curry.
Where's the game? Is it here?
No matter. It could be in the studio. It could
we really try to win a tank up here. It don't matter. When I just gave you all the numbers of Steph Curry where it does matter in Staples Center. Okay, I like that take. I'm going to go with that take. First of all, come on, Fox, spend some money, man. Where the video? You showed me some still pictures, Polaroids. That ain't going to cut it. So that didn't hammer your take home like you thought it would. Let's talk about the Lakers. As one of the teams, one of only 3 teams Steph Curry has not scored 30 points or more against in the last 1, 2, 3 seasons. For a fact, I must repeat that. Steph Curry has not scored over 30 points against the Lakers in the last 3 seasons. Golly. And you talk about it doesn't matter where they play. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't. As soon as the Lakers purple and gold, or Urkel and old, I like to call it, but when the Urkel and old shows up, Steph, kryptonite to his little Superman. Here's the thing. We know this is not a playoff series, pseudo kind of, but LeBron has never lost a first-round series. So I think his mindset is, this is the playoffs. This is the first-round series. So that's devastating as well. We know Batman needed Robin. We know in this situation in basketball, dynamic duos, big threes, you need help. And why I don't trust Steph Curry is because he doesn't have the help. Who's his Robin? Andrew Wiggins? I like Wiggins. I like Wiggins more than most people, but that doesn't do me well when I go to the barbershop, liking Wiggins. He's averaging under 20 points a game, 18 points a game. That's not a Robin compared to Anthony Davis when you talk about LeBron being compromised or fatigued. So LeBron can lean on not only Anthony Davis, he can lean on his defense, but more importantly, he can lean on what we all know as athletes is that keen focus. Now, you got how many masters? 2, 3, 4, 8. So the point is, knowing sports psychology like you do, when you are compromised, when you are 75%, other senses are enhanced when one sense is compromised. They always talk about that, how the blind can hear better or things of that nature. I know every time I had an injury, not to the point where I couldn't play, but to the point where I was like, I'm compromised, everything else locked in. This is LeBron James. LeBron James is going to lock in not only having support from Anthony Davis, but a defense that seems like it's kryptonite to Steph.
It appears, though, that your argument's a little dilute. Because you're giving me a LeBron James, Steph Curry argument, but then you're diluting it with too much Lakers.
You don't want to hear anybody else?
I want to hear about who do we trust more, LeBron or Steph Curry?
LeBron James, because his tool belt is smaller, and guess what? He knows where his few tools are. Bully ball to the damn basket, at the free throw line. I got the ball in my hand every play.
Here is the issue with your take, in my opinion, is this.
What?
If you trust somebody, why they got to lean on something? Sal, if I'm like, hey, Sal, can you hold this ladder for me? I got to go up and change this light bulb. I clearly don't trust the ladder if I need you, Marcellus Wiley, to hold that thing.
Great
if the
point.
ladder got to lean on Marcellus Wiley's hands, I don't trust the ladder all that much. So if we got to talk about, well, LeBron James has Anthony Davis to lean on, then it makes me question, How much does Marcellus Wiley truly trust LeBron James? You heard when I gave my Steph take, I ain't need nobody else. Steph averages 37 points a game since LeBron has missed his last 30.
Against the Lakers?
Steph averages 8. He has 5 40-point games. He has 21 30-point games. Steph Curry has 5 games where he's made 10 threes or more. So I don't need Steph Curry to lean on somebody because Steph Curry can lean on his own abilities. So you keep telling me about AD. You tell me about Caruso.
I ain't say nothing about no damn I didn't say nothing about Headband Man. Keep going.
But you tell me about all these things that he leaning on makes me wonder, you don't even really trust LeBron James tonight, big dog, because if you did, you wouldn't have to mention Robin. If you trust Batman, what you need Robin for? Superman ain't looking over his shoulder like, somebody come help me. If you trust Batman, what you talking about Robin for? Oh, wait.
You trust me now? You need somebody to lean on? You need some help? Yeah, buddy. Hey, Steph Curry ain't playing against LeBron. He playing against them. So that them out there was like, somebody say something, right? That's what Steph Curry gonna be like, somebody help me. This defense is collapsing. This defense is coming. Anthony Davis is too damn tall. Like, I love your take. You took me to an individual sport, the purest sport, the greatest sport in track and field, where you kind of can dictate terms. I don't give a damn how good you are in basketball. Every single play is interdependence. Every single play you're working with somebody else. Somebody got to pass you the ball. Well, you can't take it inbounds and also be the one bringing it up the court. Like, I love your take, though, because Steph Curry in an isolated vacuum right now, you would bet on Steph Curry going to Vegas to have a better performance against
that's
LeBron.
where I'm at.
I know, and that's the take. Look, if I answer that take, it's going to take 2 minutes, you won. I didn't want to go there. I want to go here. Sorry, Steph, it ain't that simple. Sorry, Steph, you got to see LeBron and them. Sorry, Steph, you against LeBron, you against the Lakers, you against this team, you in L.A. at Staples. I don't know if it even is about LeBron. It's about you. Once again, 20% from the three-point line. Once again, in the last 3 seasons, has not scored over 30 points. What the hell is going on at the Ritz-Carlton where they stay overnight? What the hell is Steph doing in L.A.?
Let me ask you this, because I don't remember who said it. It may have been a Babe Ruth. It may have been a Barry Bonds. But my next strikeout only means I'm that much closer to my next home run. Ooh. In all honesty, if I'm you, Sel, or a Lakers fan like myself, I'm a little nervous that Steph only scores 20 points per game.
Don't you do your due take. He's due take. I've done that for too many years in TV.
Sir.
He's due. No, he's sorry.
What did they teach you in Columbia in calculus?
Law of averages?
Yes. They taught you about the law of averages.
Yeah, he's average.
If Steph Curry is a 40% three-point shooter, on average. And he shoots 20% lately at Staples. And you got to agree with the law of averages, which says 40%.
Yeah.
A 60% game is coming, big dog. So if he messes around and goes, I don't know, call it 6 for 10 from three-point line, that's a big issue for them Lakers.
Over, under. He's going to shoot over 30%.
Over.
What you want? Over. Coming up, the Patriots signed another quarterback. I ain't that stupid. We'll tell you what that means for Cam Newton in New England. But first, Baker Mayfield made major strides last season, but is he a top 10 quarterback right now? We'll answer that next on Speak for Yourself.
Carl, you over both for real?
No, he started it. He did what both did.
Baker Mayfield led the Browns to a playoff win for the first time since I was 4. That's 1994. But that was last season, and this season, expectations are even higher in Cleveland. Now, Pro Football Focus ranked their top 25 quarterbacks heading into 2021, and they listed my guy, Baker Mayfield, at number 10, noting that Baker was the second highest graded quarterback in the league from week 7 to the playoffs. So, Marcellus.
Yes, sir, yes. Oh, let's go. Run through that banner and stuff. Cheerleaders, hey, give me an A.
Do you think Baker Mayfield, my guy, Baker Mayfield, is a top 10 quarterback?
No, I don't. Let me take some of the spice off of this so I don't create a Kwame Brown situation. I do not want the spice coming back at me from Baker Mayfield.
You can handle Baker, though.
I don't know. I don't know. You know I don't like to fight, and I can't fight, so Baker's winning so far. Let me say this for real. When you ask me, just general, we hanging out, is Baker Mayfield top 10 quarterback? I start to think, he's teenish, if not top 10. But then I got to do my homework. I got to do my analysis.
Fair.
I start looking at this list, and I'll start saying by name, not by number, by name. Is Baker Mayfield a top 10 quarterback? Then I say no. Justin Herbert is not in the top 10. Justin Herbert, to me, already is better than Baker Mayfield. Say what you want about it. I'll tell you why. Because Baker Mayfield is Mr. Consistently Inconsistent. Here's the thing that really keeps Baker Mayfield out of my love affair in terms of the quarterback position. There are 3 great abilities to a coach. What's the first greatest ability to a coach?
You want to go availability?
No, ability.
Okay.
You ain't on my team. How about this? We won't have you on my team if you're not good enough. Second one is availability. Once you're on the team, are you going to be on the field? Okay. And the last one is, since you're on the team and you're on the field, reliability. I got to know I could trust you. And that's my issue with Baker Mayfield. I'm not so certain I could trust Baker Mayfield. He was not the driver of that team last year. That team was driven by all pros and pro bowlers up front, tight end position, wide receiver position, dynamic duo in the running game. That drove this bus. So when you say top 10 to me that means who's the bus drivers of their team. And for that reason alone, I'm trying to strip away the spice unless you force me to. I don't see Baker Mayfield as a top 10 quarterback.
I respect it, big dog. That was a spiceless take, and I respect you for it. It's like when I went to Thanksgiving at my white friend's house. The food was aight, but it had no seasoning.
Man, don't do that.
It's true. I'm not going to say whose house I was at. They play in the league. They still my dog. I'll tell you off camera. Real talk, you're going to be so disappointed. So disappointed. He don't do season either. Anyway.
Stupid.
Baker Mayfield is a top 10 quarterback, but I have to be honest, he is at 10. Y'all know how much I love me some Baker Mayfield. I love me some Baker Mayfield. He is top 10, but he is at 10. Let me preface with the why. Y'all know I'm a realist. Even when I give my own bias and my takes, I can't stray too far from reality. And the reality is this. You can be salutatorian at your high school. You can be valedictorian at your high school. But like Marcellus Wiley has said plenty of times, and I've never disagreed with, eventually you have to take a standardized test.
Yep.
And eventually you have to be compared to the rest of the country. See, at your high school, in regards to Baker Mayfield, he's the best thing that's ever walked through the hallways of the Cleveland Browns, at least since 1988, 1989, at the quarterback position. Best thing that's ever walked through the halls. Better than Brady Quinn, better than Tim Couch, better than Johnny Manziel, better than Robert Griffin, better than Brandon Weeden, better than Colt McCoy. They're walking through them halls. Baker Mayfield looks good. But eventually, he got to take that standardized test. And when he takes that standardized test and looks at Aaron Rodgers, when he looks at Patrick Mahomes, when he looks at Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, when he looks at Josh Allen, So as I look at it, I keep Baker Mayfield at 10. However, Matt Ryan got to get the boot. And Ryan Tannehill is coming in exchange. Can we look at the top 10 list? I love the list. My primary difference for this block is Ryan Tannehill is ahead of Baker Mayfield instead of Matt Ryan. Here is why I will explain, and then I'm done with this lap, Marcellus Wiley.
Okay.
I look at, can all the quarterbacks ahead of Baker Mayfield do what Baker Mayfield is doing in Cleveland? I can find 9 quarterbacks that can do what Baker Mayfield is doing in Cleveland. I do not believe Justin Herbert could. That's why I would disagree.
You want to go here?
No, sir.
That segment?
No, sir.
All right,
I have lived in L.A. and I have lived in Cleveland. It's much easier to succeed in L.A. in any occupation, in any profession, unless you are a snow shoveler, than it is to succeed in Cleveland.
It's easier to focus in Cleveland, though.
You'd be depressed, though. You'd be depressed. I'm sure.
Damn.
Very depressed.
Like that?
So it's almost like that. So with that being said, the quarterbacks, there are 9 quarterbacks ahead of Baker Mayfield that can do in Cleveland what he is doing. He is a top 10 quarterback, but he is sitting right there at number 10.
Oh, that's you loving where you used to be. I know you have a lot of self-hate, so Dallas, sorry. Philly, not anymore. Cleveland, you're next. But right now, you're holding on. That's why he's at 10. You're holding on. Me, I don't give a damn. I don't care where I live, where I've been. If it is the truth, it's going to come out of my mouth. Public Enemy said what I feel about Baker Mayfield. Can't trust him. No. You can't trust this dude. Matthew Stafford is better than Baker Mayfield. He's not in the top 10. Oh, we got quiet. Justin Herbert is a reach for you, but not for me. But it's premature.
Does Stafford have a playoff win, sir?
No, he doesn't. Wait. Okay. See? That's Aaron Rodgers' job. Chill.
Okay. You're right.
You got the Bachelor. Let me go over here and get my spice out now because Acho want to clown me. Baker Mayfield, when he takes standardized tests against all these other big-name quarterbacks, becomes a Prop 48. We all know what Prop 48s are. Freshman year, bruh, study a little more. You ain't playing this year. Because look at Baker Mayfield. I'm just going to hit y'all with nugget after nugget and make y'all understand what I'm talking about. Outside of playing against the Cincinnati Bengals in Baker Mayfield's career, he is 18-21 against other teams. He's bottom feeding, brother. He's feasting off of the bottom of the fish tank. Leave that alone. Let's talk about Baker Mayfield. Last year, his great year. Everybody telling me, oh, Baker Mayfield, top 10. Only 5 quarterbacks had a worse completion percentage than Baker Mayfield last year. Want to hear some of them names? No, you don't. Drew Lock. He around Drew Lock. What the hell are you doing around Drew Lock and you top 10? He around Carson Wentz last year. Carson Wentz, etc. I ain't going to disparage all these names. But the point is, Baker Mayfield shouldn't be in the company of that and then try to claim he top 10, or at least you. Baker Mayfield last year, yards per game. You know who had more than him? He was right there with Nick Mullins, Gardner Minshew, and Drew Lock. I guess they boys, they're besties, as Kwame Brown would say. Baker Mayfield has only thrown for 300 or more yards in 2 of the 18 games last year.
Don't ask about Lamar Jackson then.
I'm not going to ask because he does something. I'm not going to ask him where he lives so I can see his unanimous MVP trophy either. Talking about a playoff win. Boy, stop. Last but not least, over the last 3 seasons, only Jared Goff has had more giveaways than Baker Mayfield. 3 seasons. And only Jameis Winston has had more interceptions than Baker Mayfield. Top 10? Really? Okay. And I'm just going to pass because I don't want to give too much spice because
I'm ready like Steph Curry.
I want you to digest it.
Here's what we cannot do.
What?
And here's what I cannot tolerate you to do as a friend, as a brother, confidant.
Restats.
Is this.
What?
Don't eliminate a sample size from Baker Mayfield and then regurgitate his stats. If you take away the Bengals, Baker is only 18.
I hate when I do that. I hate when you do that.
Because
you're right.
Dak Prescott's 19-6 against the NFC East. Dak Prescott has a career 42-27 record. Career 42-27. If you take away the bottom-feeding NFC East, Dak Prescott's 23-21. So anybody Marcellus can take away the bottom feeders to try to skew something. So that's what we're not going to do.
Okay.
We're also not going to punish Baker Mayfield for starting games.
Punish?
Yeah, because you said Baker Mayfield has the 3rd most picks behind Jared Goff and Jameis Winston. Well, maybe if Dak didn't get hurt, he might be in that conversation.
Maybe. Oh, that's where we live now? Yeah, that's where you moved to? You moved to Mayfield?
You going to punish a player for playing?
Did you move to Mayfield? No, I'm punishing you for how you played, damn it. Nobody told you to go out there and be right by Jameis Winston, second to Jameis Winston, the interceptions. 3 years. I'm not talking about just... That's including his great year last year. Bro, I ain't done with this dude. Since entering in the league, 29th in completion percentage, 26th in passer rating. If there's one stat that everyone wants to say aggregates what a quarterback is, it's passer rating. He's 26. Seriously, theatrics aside. Okay. If you're 26 in your overall rating, how the hell are you top 10, Acho?
Because when we talk about the greatest field goal kickers of all time, what is kicking a field goal? Kicking a field goal is a specialty act. We weigh, where did they play? Did they play inside a dome? Did they play outside? Did they play in the cold? When you talk about the quarterback position, because the quarterback position is a specialty act, you factor in where did they play. So when you're talking about passer rating, when you're talking about completion percentage, now I'm coming back to where is Baker Mayfield playing? Duh, it's easier to be Matthew Stafford and play inside a dome. To be Matt Ryan and play against the Saints, that's in the South, the Bucks, that's in Tampa, or the Falcons inside a dome. But you, Baker Mayfield, where you got to go? You got to travel to Cincinnati, a couple hours down the road, about 4 hours away from Cleveland, still in Ohio. You got to go to Baltimore. That ain't warm. You got to go to Pittsburgh, or you have to stay right next to that lake effect snow where you are playing. Sale.
Oh, it's your tough.
No. But what we're not going to do is this. We got to act like we understand where Baker Mayfield is.
You told me in the beginning you take to stop respecting that.
Yes.
You got to take the standardized test.
But you
ACT.
But you have
SAT.
to understand where he is. That's why you keep him in the top 10. What do they do, big dog, when you go to college? You know this because you went to Columbia over the likes of UCLA, over the likes of USC, over the likes of everywhere else.
I went to USC. Take that USC part out. But UCLA, Alabama.
They do this. They say, what was your SAT?
Yes.
What was your ACT?
Yes.
Or what do they also ask?
GPA.
What was your GPA?
Yeah.
because they also factor in what did you do and where did you do it.
Yeah.
I'm not completely turning a blind eye to what Baker Mayfield is doing where he is doing it, but they factor in the SAT, standardized. But they also say, hey, big dog, what did you do and where were you doing it? Because Baker Mayfield is the valedictorian of the Cleveland Browns when it comes to the quarterback position.
Oh, I don't want to do this.
So what is he doing and where is he doing it?
Really? And then the one that they respect the least is your GPA, because they're like, we ain't never took a student from that sorry, dumbass high school. And and Baker Mayfield, you got a high GPA.
You hear this, man?
Yeah, I'm telling you the truth. Yes. Hey, if you don't live by objective standards in this world, the world gonna slap you in the face with a harsh reality.
Can I tell you in story form?
Story form? Then let me just slide somebody in this top 10 and we could dip.
No, I'm gonna tell you in story form because now you got me hyped. Dale, I left. See, I'm so glad you were not a college counselor at St. Mark's School of Texas where I went to high school. I'm so glad, because I wouldn't have accomplished anything in life. Let me tell you why. I'm at this school with a student who scored a, true story, perfect on the SAT and a perfect on the ACT. One of 180 students in the nation to do so. His name is Jake Vandermeer. So I'm graduating with a kid named Jake Vandermeer. He currently is an executive director of exotic derivatives of trading at Morgan Stanley. That's him.
I like him already.
I was an idiot at that school.
That's on you.
Because compared to him, who scored a perfect on the SAT and ACT, I was convinced I was dumb. But then I left that school of the excellent, and I realized, wait a second, your boy kind of smart. Because when you actually look at what I was doing compared to the masses, I realized, your boy kind of smart. Marcellus Wiley, you got to do the same thing with Baker Mayfield. Stop comparing Baker Mayfield to Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Russell Wilson, and then you will too realize what I realized.
Justin Herbert.
Baker Mayfield, kind of a baller. Coming up, the Patriots signed another quarterback. We'll tell you what that message sends to Cam Newton. That's next. Be for yourself.
Like I was an idiot. Saturday, MLB is back on Fox, headlined by an interleague showdown between the Red Sox and Phillies. Or it's two of the greatest rivalries in baseball. The Dodgers take on the Giants, and the Cubs face the Cardinals. Saturday, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, only on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Check local listings for the game in your area. Now, the Patriots re-signed veteran quarterback Brian Hoyer again, who started one game for New England last season and has 6 years of experience under Bill Belichick. No one is expecting Hoyer to win the starting job over Cam Newton or rookie Mac Jones, but NBC Sports Boston argues the Hoyer signing could have an impact on Cam's future in New England, saying, quote, Newton's on a one-year deal with a low salary, and the Patriots just spent the first rounder on a quarterback. He already was on the clock, but the clock could be speeding up. So, Acho, are the Patriots sending a message to Cam with this signing?
A little bit. And at first I said no, but y'all track with me here. I think I'm going to tell y'all what the rest of the world hasn't or will not. The Patriots are sending a message that we need a backup quarterback because we don't have a backup quarterback. Here's what I mean, Sel. The Patriots don't have a backup quarterback by talent or by desire. Cam Newton is not a backup quarterback by desire. He has made it blatantly clear, I am not a backup quarterback in the National Football League. Mac Jones, a top 15 pick, which most scouts said he was the most NFL ready, is not a backup quarterback by talent. So as the Patriots are looking at their roster, they're like, wait a second, we don't have a backup quarterback. We are stuck with 2 starters. Remember, there are only 3 preseason games, which means they're now a 2-week bye, a 2-week layoff between the last preseason game and the first regular season game, which means if Cam Newton does not win the job out of training camp, Bill Belichick will probably have the decency and courtesy, or Cam Newton will throw a fit, and Bill Belichick will trade or move Cam Newton elsewhere, allowing him to go be a starter. Because Cam doesn't want to be a backup. So this move to sign Brian Hoyer isn't necessarily sending Cam Newton a message, but what it is saying is we understand we don't have a backup quarterback, and we need to find a backup quarterback on our roster. Cam, you not the backup, out of respect. Mac Jones, realistically speaking, you not a backup. We don't draft a quarterback at top 15 to make him a backup. We know that. The NFL does not do that, at least not lately in the NFL. So we need to find a backup quarterback. That is you, Brian Hoyer. So Cam Newton, if you don't win the job, you're not going to be on the roster. But realistically speaking, you didn't want to be on the roster anyway if you didn't win the job. So it's no slight to you, Cam. We're going to give you what you want if you don't win the job. That is the only message that's being sent. My dog.
My dog. Love that take. You made me change my mind, so excuse me as I talk while my mouth is full, digesting what you just said right there. Interesting. Damn it. I don't think that's going to happen. But I will have a gentleman bet with you. This is what I think is going to happen. They're going to look at their situation and say, Cam Newton, you're our starter this entire year. Because I know what happens in my system year one. You either sit or you suck. And I don't want Matt Jones to suck, so I'm going to sit him. Now, going forward, Cam Newton, this is on you. I'm doing you one because last year you came in here. You were a stopgap quarterback for us. We had no assets. We had no resources. We had no personnel. We had no weapons. And you came here and you took a lot of those hits along with me as Bill Belichick. So this year, I'm going to give you an opportunity to go out there and make something for yourself. Mac Jones is here. He's our future. So I don't care how well you play, you're going to either outprice yourself for what we have because we got Mac Jones, or you're going to be somewhere else because you're right. He's not a backup. But who is a backup? Brian Hoyer. So this is about setting the table of the quarterback room going forward the next 3 to 5 years. Brian Hoyer, we know we can come grab you because we keep grabbing you. Cam Newton, wink, wink, go out there and kill him. Go out there and show him. We got everything we need this year. Reloaded offense, reloaded defense. Cam Newton, second year in the system, not year one, sit or suck. Go out there and earn your way. But it won't be here because Mac Jones is here going forward. But in the present, I think it's Cam Newton. But interesting take. Damn it. Let's bring in Fox NFL analyst Bucky Brooks to speak on this. Bucky, are the Patriots sending a message to Cam with this signing?
No, not at all. Not even in the least bit. Because Brian Hoyer was on that team last year, remember? I think you remember Brian Hoyer, the guy that came in and absolutely fell apart versus Kansas City when he had his opportunity. The same Brian Hoyer that couldn't beat out Jarrett Stidham to be the number 2 quarterback last year behind Cam Newton. No, this is about, what is the old saying I think we talk about in sports? We talk about if you can't play, you coach. Brian Hoyer is there to coach Mac Jones on the intricacies of this offense. But his job is not to do anything as it relates to Cam. And I understand Acho's take in terms of saying, hey, if Cam is beat out by Mac Jones, it'd be disrespectful to keep him there as the number 2. But I don't have any expectation that Mac Jones is going to beat Cam Newton out because understand what's going on around the league right now. Teams are not necessarily taking the same approach to the offseason. We're not seeing the same kind of OTAs. We have teams that are opting out of doing 11-on-11 and 7-on-7. And so for a guy who only has 17 starts in college, Mac Jones, to think that he is going to come to New England and step in an offense that is regarded as one of the most complex offenses in football, I just don't see it. Brian Hoyer is there to help Mac Jones learn the offense. He is not there to do anything to threaten Cam Newton as a starter or even as a backup.
Bucky, I don't disagree with you, but a part of your take almost feeds my point. Because my point is this. The Patriots have only committed $3 million to Cam Newton. $3 million in the NFL is nothing. So if Cam Newton does not win the job, it is an if. You can disagree with me on how big that if is, but in all honesty, I think we kind of agree. I don't think Cam Newton will lose it, but there's a chance. And I don't think it's even that small of a chance. We know Cam Newton can get hurt. We know Cam Newton can struggle. So there is a chance. You just told me, and I wholeheartedly agree with you, Bucky Brooks, Brian Hoyer's job is to coach Mac Jones. The backup quarterback's job is to support the starting quarterback. So Cam Newton, if you don't win the job, we quite literally have no place for you on this roster. Because if Bucky Brooks is correct, and I think Bucky Brooks is, that Brian Hoyer is brought to coach Mac Jones, then Cam, if you can't help us on the field and you can't coach our starting quarterback, who would be Mac Jones in this hypothetical, help us off the field, then what use do we have for you? Oh, we're only paying you $3 million, and oh, we respect you enough to help you go start elsewhere. So, Bucky, I do agree with you, but the issue is me agreeing with you almost lends back to my point of Cam Newton isn't a backup. And if Cam Newton does not become the starter, then Cam Newton is not on the roster. And that is what the Brian Hoyer signing can signify.
Okay, so let me do this. Let's see if I can make this simple for you. How many of the starting quarterbacks in the league do we view as backups? Not many. We don't talk about starting quarterbacks in those backup terms because the backup quarterback job is a completely different profile than the starter. And so I understand what you're trying to paint. Like if Cam Newton doesn't win the job, But do we really believe that Cam Newton's not going to win the job? Because if the New England Patriots really wanted to move on from Cam Newton, they could have done it in the offseason. They had a high pick. They didn't have to bring him back. There was no reason or impetus for them to bring him back if they didn't believe that he was going to give them the best chance to win. And if we're so convinced that Mac Jones is the guy that they wanted to start, why did the Patriots stand pat and not go get Mac Jones in the draft? Why didn't they move up? Because if they were desperate and clamoring for Mac Jones to be their quarterback, he kind of fell into their lap. So it might have been one of those things where sometimes you get a ticket, you're like, look at this lottery ticket that fell in my lap. I'll take it. I don't need it. I'll play the Powerball. But it's not one of those things that they actively pursued. I think that's what this is. The New England Patriots happened to stop by 7-Eleven and picked up a ticket, but it's not one of those tickets that they intend to cash in because Cam Newton is the starting quarterback. And so they're just building up the room to help their young quarterback eventually play better, maybe in 2022, not in 2021.
Bucky, this is my last jab as we go back and forth with these intellectual blows, if you will. There aren't very many quarterbacks in the National Football League that are starters that we view as backups, but there are three, excluding Cam Newton. There's Ryan Fitzpatrick, who signed an $11 million deal. There's Andy Dalton, who signed a $14 million deal. And there's Tyrod Taylor, who signed a $12.5 million deal. Now, you know Cam's deal is worth up to $14 million. Those four quarterbacks are the only starting quarterbacks that are in that money value range. We've all agreed on this show that money dictates how much somebody loves you. So while there aren't very many starting quarterbacks that we view as backups, I think Cam Newton can now be slotted into that group of now four because he's already been slotted there financially, Bucky Brooks. I think we have to consider he is a starter, but is he one of those starting backups a la Andy Dalton?
Damn.
Okay, so let's be real about this, and let's be very, very clear when we talk about those guys that you listed. If we were in the park playing a game, and you're going to tell me that Andy Dalton, Tyrod Taylor, and whoever else you mentioned is going to get the ball over Cam Newton, I certainly can't be a part of that discussion because if we're saying that those guys are in the same stratosphere, I'm absolutely lost. Andy Dalton, we talked about it. Andy Dalton, we had the conversation, I think last year when I came up on the show, we talked about, hey, Andy Dalton can get the Dallas Cowboys up and going just like Dak. Dak could lose his job to Andy Dalton. That's not a serious consideration. We talked about Ryan Fitzpatrick and what he did. Ryan Fitzpatrick was playing so well, they pulled the plug on him and put Tua Tagovailoa in to start on a team that had playoff aspirations. Yeah, he came in a backup capacity. Here's what we're saying because we've been disingenuous when we talked about Cam Newton being benched and Cam Newton's job status being tenuous. In each of those games, when we talk about Cam Newton leaving the game, we talk about in the fourth quarter of blowouts. You can say, oh, those blowouts were due to Cam Newton. But can we really say that when we look at how sorry that team was constructed when it comes to the personnel on the perimeter and the way the defense played? Yes, I understand. It may appear that Cam Newton is in a fight for his job, but Cam Newton is the starter in New England, and he'll be the starter for the entire 2021 season.
Man, y'all got me stuck on this one. I don't know which one of y'all is Kwame Brown and which one's Matt Barnes. Y'all beefing right now. Let me just say this. Acho fell into this trap. And it's a trap that we've all been a part of before. You ever sitting there at the crib, get your mail, you check it out, like, oh, it arrived. And somebody nosy ass sitting there looking at you while you look at your mail. Yeah, I just got some new insurance, a new insurance policy on the car, on the whip. And they sit there and say, what, you planning on getting into an accident? Like, wait a minute, dog. Are you that stupid? Like, I get an insurance policy not to get into an accident. It's just an insurance policy. Acho uses the fact that they went out there and got Brian Hoyer as a fuel of conversation to go out there and make all these grander points about Cam Newton. It's not an indictment on him. It's not an indictment on Bill Belichick, how he wants to drive this car. It's not an indictment on how he wants to run his team. It's just, I got some different insurance. Simple as that. But the greatest point to me is Bucky Brooks saying, basically, Brian Hoyer, Cam Newton ain't going to go over there and hook Mac Jones up with all these little details and information. Cam Newton is busy being our starter. Y'all go into y'all little subgroups on the side of these meeting rooms and discuss how in year 2 going forward, you will be the quarterback. Because as I said before, Cam is gone after this year. They are hooking him up. They are getting veteran presence in that room going forward as an insurance policy for Mac Jones as the future franchise quarterback. So Cam Newton, here's the proposition. Ball out and get out, or flame out. But either way, you're out, and that's fine. But that's after you finish this entire year.
I got a question for y'all, like I have to ask myself the same question. And unfortunately, every now and then, we rather tell ourselves convenient lies than hard truths.
Ooh.
And on this show, unfortunately, it might be time for us to talk a hard truth.
Ooh.
Are we still in love with a Cam Newton that no longer exists? Bucky, let me tell you why I say that. Now, realistically speaking, I don't have time to blind resume it because I looked it up as Marcellus was talking. But Cam Newton's last 31 games, he's 13-18. Ryan Fitzpatrick on lesser teams, his last 30 games, he's 13-17. Ryan Fitzpatrick has passed for 9,000 yards. Cam Newton has passed for 6,600 yards. Ryan Fitzpatrick has thrown for 57 touchdowns. Cam Newton has thrown for 32 touchdowns. Ryan Fitzpatrick has a 91 passer rating. Cam Newton has an 87 passer rating. I only say that because stats do not lie. Are we still in love with a Cam Newton that no longer exists? On paper, Bucky, it sounds idiotic. Low-key, it sounds asinine coming out of my mouth. How dare you compare Ryan Fitzpatrick to Cam? That's the dumbest thing in the world. Cam Newton won an MVP once. But when you look at it, I just told you, in the last 30 games that both of these players have played, Ryan Fitzpatrick has thrown for 2,500 more yards. He's thrown for 25 more touchdowns. He has a better passer rating and a 2% lesser completion percentage. You just have to wonder, do you still love a Cam Newton that no longer exists? Bucky?
Oof.
Okay, so what I love about this show and what I love about what you do is you hold these grenades in your pocket. So the blind resume thing that you throw out with Ryan Fitzpatrick, that's nice because now I have to think of my feet. But I did hear you say 2% lesser completion percentage for a guy who's been a journeyman quarterback who's played for how many different teams?
About 7.
Because if Ryan Fitzpatrick was so good, someone would have booed him up and said, hey, Ryan Fitzpatrick, we're going to build this thing around you. But no one has ever thought
But let me
of Ryan
ask you,
Fitzpatrick.
Bucky, let me
in
ask
that.
you this. Let me ask you this.
Nobody booing him up.
Let me ask you this.
We didn't do that in
Let me
Miami.
ask you, Bucky.
booing.
Don't we keep booing up Halle Berry? Don't we keep booing up Kim K? Now,
Whoa.
they keep getting booed up because of what they did in the past, Sal. Think about what they accomplished in the past.
That show.
Cats is still hanging on to these dreams. Now, I'm not saying that Halle don't still look good. I'm not saying Kim K don't look good. But I'm saying, Bucky Brooks, of course they still gonna keep getting booed up. Not only are they getting booed up, they getting booed up by the cream of the crop, by the creme de la creme. Because of what they've accomplished in their prior years. Are we going to boo up Cam Newton? Yes, he's 6'6", 240, chiseled, stylish, won an MVP in 2015, had 45 combined touchdown passes. Duh, he going to get booed up. And every time Halle's single, she going to get booed up too. But she ain't been in Catwoman in about 15 years, Bucky Brooks. Let go of the dream.
That's
Catwoman isn't why that she keeps getting booed up. Monster Ball is why she gets booed up. And when it comes to
them late Netflix nights coming up. 5 quarterbacks were drafted in the top 15 picks for the only second time in NFL history. Go to bed, Bucky. But which rookie quarterback can first take their team to the playoffs? We'll tell you next. Speak for yourself.
Are you still watching?
Watch and speak for yourself. Thank you guys out there. Marcellus Wiley, Emmanuel Acho. Let's go under center. Or maybe in the shotgun where the 5 first-round quarterbacks, rookies, all of them, taking snaps in camp with their new teams. We talking about Trevor Lawrence, we talking about Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, and who? Mac Jones. They all may start at some point this season, but the expectations may be the highest on Lawrence, the #1 overall pick. Jags head coach and the homie Urban Meyer says Lawrence has, quote, looked great so far in limited reps. Bucky Brooks is back with us, but Acho, which rookie quarterback is most likely to lead their team to the playoffs this season?
I think based on the question, only one can lead their team to the playoffs. Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars not going to the playoffs. Zach Wilson not going to the playoffs. Based upon what you all just told me, the Patriots may go to the playoffs, but Mac Jones will not be the one who leads them there. Based upon what me and Marcellus talk about ad nauseum, the Niners may go to the playoffs, but Trey Lance will not lead them there. So it only leaves one person, and that one person is Justin Fields with the Chicago Bears. Bear in mind, since 2018, the Bears have the 5th best record in the NFC. Bear in mind, the Chicago Bears have an elite pass rusher, Khalil Mack. They have an elite linebacker, Roquan Smith plus Janie Trevathan is nice. Elite safety, Eddie Jackson. They have an elite receiver, Allen Robinson. A phenomenal tandem at running back, Montgomery plus Tariq Cohen. They have burners at receiver, Darnell Mooney plus Marquise Goodwin. And now you have a ceilingless quarterback in Justin Fields. The Bears made the playoffs 2 out of the last 3 years with Mitch Trubisky as their quarterback. Remember, they made it last year with the Nick Foles, Mitch Trubisky experiment. If you can make the playoffs as the Chicago Bears with quarterback turmoil, you surely can make the playoffs with inarguably the most talented quarterback that the Bears have seen in at least the last 20 years or so. So I think Justin Fields is truly the only quarterback who will lead his team to the playoffs. The operative word there being lead.
Oh, no, look, I like that take because I believe Justin Fields is going to be there. But when he gets to the playoffs, you're going to see another guy. That guy's going to be Trey Lance because it's only a matter of time. The clock is ticking on Jimmy Garoppolo's tenure with the 49ers. They've said it. Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch have come on record and said, when Trey Lance is ready to play, we will know it, and he will play. They're not saying that Jimmy Garoppolo dictates when Trey Lance gets on the field. They're saying when Trey Lance is ready to play, he will get his chance to get on the field. And so we don't know when that's going to happen. Is that going to happen coming out of preseason? Is that going to happen in the middle of the season? But the one thing that we do know, it is going to happen. I'm banking that it happens this year because remember, the guy that he is backing up right now, Jimmy Garoppolo, has proven that he has a tough time staying available. I heard you guys talk about the number one quality that coaches look for. You guys said ability. I would say availability. And Jimmy Garoppolo has shown that he's not available. So in some time this season, we're going to see Trey Lance get that job. And when he gets it, he won't give it back.
It's ability because I don't give a damn how available you are. If you're sorry, you ain't getting on my team if you're a coach. So ability, availability, reliability. But I love what you said, Bucky, but I love what Acho said even more. It's Justin Fields. Just by the matter of deduction right there, by default, it's going to be Justin Fields. He has the best chance of starting, and he has the best chance in terms of what he has around him in terms of resources. I love the San Francisco 49ers, but you guys have a collective health issue that you must address. I know that the scapegoat was looking at Jimmy GQ and his injuries and saying, we're going to put it all on you. But everybody was hurt on that team on both sides of the ball last year. Bears got a squad, y'all. Let me remind y'all, they reached the playoffs in 2 of the last 3 seasons. So they got some talent there. Let's talk about that talent, especially on the offensive side. David Montgomery, who is he?
Baller.
Baller. 5th in NFL rushing yards last season. Tariq Cohen, beast. Damian Williams, Allen Robinson, 4th in NFL with 200 catches last 2 seasons. Darnell Mooney, Cole K. Y'all know about Cole K. They got boys out there. Justin Fields is going to walk into a perfect situation, not only because all you got to do is be better than Mitchell Trubisky and they're going to love you, but also this chip on his shoulder. The way he was giving all those half hugs to the family when he got drafted because he felt slighted. You know what Chicago and Justin Fields is going to say to each other? They're going to look at each other and say, we can both pull each other up. This fan base that is ready for an opportunity at a starting franchise quarterback level to pull them into the playoffs deep, back to their Super Bowl winning ways, and a quarterback who felt he should go higher than he did. They're going to both pull each other up. It's Justin Fields.
Here's the thing. We already established the who of the rookie quarterbacks going to the playoffs. That's Justin Fields. Now let's establish the why. It's simple. If Aaron Rodgers is not in Green Bay, then Justin Fields most handily and the Chicago Bears win the NFC North. I do not trust the Detroit Lions, and I surely don't trust the Minnesota Vikings and Kirk Cousins. If Aaron Rodgers just does stay in Green Bay and give the Packers the winners of the North, let's give the Cowboys the winners of the East. Let's make the Buccaneers the winners of the South, and let's make the Seahawks the winners of the West, if you will. That leaves 3 playoff spots remaining. Remember, ain't nobody in the NFC East not division winner making the playoffs. So now you're telling me all Justin Fields has to do and all the Bears have to do is be better than the Lions, check. Be better than the Vikings, they were last year with Mitch Trubisky, check. Be better than the Panthers, check. Be better than the Falcons, check. Okay, give the Saints a spot. Now you just got to be better than the Cardinals. They were last year with Mr. Trubisky. Check. So at the end of the day, even if you look at the math of it all, Bucky Brooks, Justin Fields is surely going to find him at least one spot in the playoffs. It might be a 7 seed, but even if they don't win the division, then the other 3 teams I could see being the New Orleans Saints, the Los Angeles Rams, and here you go with the Chicago Bears.
I mean, I like the Bears, but I think all of this comes down to Matt Nagy and what kind of confidence you have in Matt Nagy.
True.
I believe in Justin Fields. I believe Justin Fields is the most talented quarterback that the Bears have had in a long time. I think we may have to go all the way back to Jim McMahon, that time when they've had an elite quarterback that have been able to play the position. But it really isn't about the Bears. Here's why I'm so bullish on the 49ers and Trey Lance. We've seen a 49ers team 2 years ago go to the Super Bowl and have the Kansas City Chiefs dead to right, had the game in their bag going into the fourth quarter, and they couldn't get it done. When they couldn't get it done then, that's when the expiration date of Jimmy Garoppolo came to fruition, when it came to the mind of Kyle Shanahan. Because Kyle Shanahan looked across the field and saw Pat Mahomes being creative, being innovative, being able to make plays off the cuff. And then he goes back and he looks at Jimmy Garoppolo. He not only looks at how Jimmy Garoppolo played in that Super Bowl when he scoured the game tape, he then had to look at Jimmy Garoppolo for parts of 2020. And he's just not satisfied in what he has. And so we know this because we've seen coaches, we've been around coaches. Coaches love new toys. They love being able to go to the whiteboard and draw up all kinds of new plays for the special player. Trey Lance is the special player. And I just cannot believe that Kyle Shanahan is going to idly sit back and wait for Trey Lance to get into 2022 before he unwraps the toy. This is happening in 2021. And because he's joining a team that is already proven to be a Super Bowl caliber team, this team goes to the playoffs with Trey Lance, number 5, leading the way.
I can't say any more about Justin Fields. Acho went again and killed it. And so I'm not going to go there again. It's Justin Fields, but I'm going to come at you, Bucky, so duck. Let's talk about this. Here's the problem with Jimmy G, and you keep talking about Jimmy G as a focal point to really make a premise for your point about how he's going to lose his job to Trey Lance. Here's the problem with making Jimmy G the scapegoat. It allows you to disguise the symptoms but not address the illness. And the illness with the 49ers is much deeper than just Jimmy G is the scapegoat as one of the symptoms. Jimmy G didn't even miss the most games of all the starters that they count on last year. Let's talk about D Ford missing 15 games. Let's talk about Nick Bosa missing 14 games. Let's talk about Raheem Mostert. How you say it? Mostert? Mustard on the beat, bro. Missing 8 games. Debo Samuel, 9 games. Brandon missing 4 games. George Kittle, 8 games. Hey, a lot of people got to go up there and get sweaty like Moses Malone and grab this rebound season. I'm coming back this year. But y'all keep talking about Jimmy G. And he's the only reason why the 49ers of late has really sniffed success. When Jimmy G's healthy, they in the Super Bowl. When Jimmy G's hurt, they drafting high. So keep talking about Jimmy G. It's just going to be interesting to see if this spreads to other players that also need to answer the bell. Coming up, Steph and LeBron face off tonight in the play-in game. We'll tell you if the Lakers should be on upset alert. That's next on Speak for Yourself. All right, back to Kwame Brown tape.
LeBron's Lakers were the top seed at this time last year, waiting to see who they would face from the play-in games. But now, they need a win in the play-in over the Warriors just to lock up the 7th seed. Now, LeBron missed 27 games this season and is still working his way back to full health. We joined by one of my favorites, if not my favorite, outside of you, Marcellus, Slick Rick the Buka. But, Sel, should the Lakers, my Lakers, be on upset alert tonight versus the Warriors?
Yes, they should be on upset alert. They should be upset they playing in a damn play-in game. They should be upset.
Is that the alert?
Yeah, that's the alert. Like my alarm clock going off. Wednesday, we got to play? You mean the Clippers are still asleep in their bed and we got to go to Staples and play in a play-in game? Shoot program, Lakers. Yeah, I'm upset. But you talking about once we get there and we play against the team, the Golden State Warriors? Well, I don't know. Why don't we make their name plural? It's Golden State Warrior. It's Steph Curry. Rest of them dudes, Mr. Triple Single, love you, babe. Andrew Wiggins, you're talented, and that's not going to get it done against the Lakers. I'm going to have to regurgitate a couple points, I guess, and say how bad Steph Curry plays against the Los Angeles Lakers at Staples Center. Where's this game? At Staples Center. Who's he playing? Los Angeles Lakers. chances are Steph Curry is not going to play as well. His three-point shooting is at 20.8%. Wow, that's not good. He has not scored over 30 points against the Lakers in the last 1, 2, 3 seasons. So unless somebody can show me statistically a better Steph Curry and even a greater team around him, the Lakers are not on upset alert. They're just mad that they got to play tonight.
I love that take. I wish I thought of it myself. But I will say this. The Lakers should actually be on genuine upset alert, as we know the colloquial phrase to mean, being on alert that you may lose to a lesser team. Here's why, Sel. Okay. Let's go back to January 18th, if we shall. Slick Rick, I'm sure you watched the game start to finish. Remember LeBron James had won 283 consecutive home games when going into the fourth quarter with a double-digit lead? Until January 18th against the Golden State Warriors. So they went to the fourth quarter up by 12. LeBron James and Steph Curry, they both check in at the exact same time, the 6-minute mark. But when they checked in and the Lakers were up 105-97 at the time, what happens? LeBron James traveling, LeBron James traveling, LeBron James turnover, and Steph Curry has 8 points in the last 6 minutes of that ball game, including a dagger three-pointer to put the Warriors up 115-10. Again, the Lakers could not surmount a recovery, and ultimately the Golden State Warriors hand LeBron James his first loss in 283 consecutive games when going into a fourth quarter with a double-digit lead. History will teach you that you need to beware in the future of what previously occurred. Again, history will teach you to beware in the future of what previously occurred. The Lakers are about to beware of what had previously occurred because nobody had ever come back from LeBron James when down by double digits in the fourth quarter and LeBron James is at home until Steph Curry. Mano y mano, that's what I love in the NFL about cat coverage. It's this cat got that cat. It's just y'all two one-on-one. Steph Curry and LeBron, they both go to the scorer's table. They look at each other. Steph Curry looks up, LeBron looks down with a little snarl, a little snare. But when they check into the game, vastly different results. Got to be on upset alert because you've already been upset. A less meaningful game, but upset nonetheless.
Loved both of your takes, but the simple answer is yes, they should be on upset alert. Now, do I expect an upset? No, but do I see an avenue by which one could occur? Absolutely, yes. And to answer your question, Marcellus, I didn't even know you were going to ask. But since you're asking, how do we get a better version of Steph Curry? My answer would be, you don't need one. If there's been anything proved, it's that the Warriors are capable of winning when Steph Curry is not the threat that everybody sees him as from three-point range. When they beat the Lakers at the beginning of this season, the game that Acho was referencing, Stephen Curry was 3 for 12 from three-point range in that game. When they just played in May, when they played the last two playoff caliber teams, the Phoenix Suns and the Utah Jazz, Steph Curry was a combined 4 for 24 from three-point range. So I know that we got this image of the Warriors at the beginning of the season, that if Steph wasn't going ham, then there was no chance of them winning because we just saw them, everybody else, missing wide open threes and throwing the ball around. But if you look at the statistics of the very guys that you mentioned, Jordan Poole is averaging 18 points a game on 38% shooting from three-point range in May. Andrew Wiggins is averaging 22 points on 52% shooting. And the guy that you will not speak of and well should, Draymond Green, is 1 rebound short of averaging a triple-double in the month of May while shooting 40% from three-point range. Doesn't take a whole lot of them, but the ones that he's taking, he's making a fair percentage. So that is the beauty of the Warriors right now, is that, yeah, the Lakers can turn the spigot off on Steph Curry, but that does not assure anybody of beating these Warriors at this point.
Man, where you live again? Oh, never mind, Bay Area. Okay, I heard a lot of...
Stop it.
Is E40 behind you or behind the blue screen? What the hell is this?
I wish he was.
Yay. Okay, let's do this. Love that dude, too. Which team in the NBA has the best defensive rating? I wonder. Is it up
that
there in
would be the
Bay-
Lakers.
You don't say it with the chest though. Say it real.
Yeah.
Lakers. All right. What's team has
The Los Angeles Lakers.
Right. Number 2 scoring defense in the NBA. That same team. Let's just echo the Lakers again. That's going to be an issue. When you look at what Steph Curry and his Warriors are going to come into, they're going to come into a place that they're familiar with. And that familiarity is not as positive as you made it seem. The month of May is amazing right now. Like, everyone is playing great. And you notice about role players, or at least not the lead dog players. I don't even want to call them role players. Sounds like a slight. But you're great in other circumstances, but when it's needed, when it's counted on, when we need you most, the lead dog has to lead. And Steph Curry at Staples is not the same Steph Curry. Now, we understand what happened in January, and Acho gave us some great possessions. What'd you give us, the last 3 possessions?
Last 6 minutes.
Last 6 minutes, 3 possessions. You said traveling, turnover, right? I read that differently. I'm looking at it through LeBron James's eyes. Square up, look at Slick Rick. Square up, Slick. I'm about to talk to you right now. Traveling in this game is going to be traveling to Staples Center. Upset. Traveling in this game is going to be traveling from Staples Center. Upset. Turnover is going to be getting in my bed and turning over, getting a glass of wine, LeBron James saying, damn, we just handled these sorry-ass dudes while we had to play on a Wednesday. Point being, if you got the best defense, you got the 2 best players on the court, Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Yes, I said it, because they're playing in Staples where Steph has struggled. And you have this type of defense and a collection. I don't see how Steph Curry and the Warriors can do anything against them.
Here's my question, Osel. At least a part of you has to be concerned with this. If you average 32 points a game, that's Steph Curry, that's your average. You do understand that, like, he could be way better than that. You see, the Lakers score 106 points per game. Steph Curry essentially by himself averages 1/3 of the entirety of the opposing team scoring. And that's his average. So if an average is brought down by numbers that are lesser and is also brought up by digits that are higher, Steph Curry could easily go for 50 tonight. He could easily go for 40 tonight. He could easily go for 45 tonight, in which case the Lakers have much cause for concern. And what I would be presenting isn't even an outlier. It would just be in line with Steph Curry's averages.
Yeah, look, I just feel like we're putting way too much attention on Steph Curry as a whole in terms of what the Warriors are and have been. Because you are right, Marcellus. The Lakers have the #1 defensive rating, and they're also very good at defending the 3. All that said, so are the Warriors. The Warriors are the 5th-ranked defense. They are built very much like the Lakers are. And so the biggest question is not going to be, for me, Steph Curry or 3-point shooting even. It's going to be free throw shooting. How often do the Lakers get to the free throw line? Because that has been the one Achilles heel for the Golden State Warriors. No team gives up more free throws per game, either attempted or made, than the Golden State Warriors. Now, what they've done better in May that has also fueled this run of theirs to the end is the fact that they've reduced that. It's still not great, but it's better. If Anthony Davis and LeBron James are having a parade going to the free throw line, then honestly, I don't know what Steph could go for 60 and still lose this game. But if they can minimize that and make this about collectively how are we scoring and make it more of an emphasis of 3-point shooting and scoring than we are making free throws, then that's the opening that the Warriors have. We just saw it Celtics versus Wizards. Yeah. The Celtics didn't even shoot a great 3-point percentage, but they made a couple more than their season average. And meanwhile, they kept the Wizards at 3 for 21. That is the opening that the Warriors have, is winning that battle and not allowing free throws to take over. And if you're asking me, do I expect that to happen? No, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Dennis Schroeder were on my all-defensive teams. I know what they are defensively, particularly on the perimeter. But if you're asking me for one night, one game, is there an avenue, is there a path to which the Warriors could do this? And should the Lakers be alert to not allowing that to happen? I have to say, without question, there is that possibility.
Man, I don't know which way to go. Acho's trying to sell me on the law of averages, and then you trying to tell me about one game. And then you bury the lead. Jason Tatum had 50. But, yeah, it's fine to keep bringing up Boston examples in that situation. Y'all forget, styles make fights. Okay? Like, let's not get away from the simplistic things. Styles make fights. Acho, you know this. You've been out there before as a linebacker. Man, you could cover him. And you see that one guy? Oh, man, I struggle against him. I know, look, for me, it was fire hydrants. I hated this. 6'5", 6'6", 310, prototypical tackles. Bring them. 6'1", 360, out of shape, fire hydrants. Oh, damn it. I can't get under that, coach. What am I going to do with that? So styles make fights, and unfortunately, the Warriors going to figure out, once again, they're going to be average by law once they step in Staples Center. Speaking of tonight's matchup, the Warriors-Lakers playing game is featured on the free-to-play Fox Bet Super 6 app. Download the app and answer 6 questions about the game for your shot to win $1,000 guaranteed. Coming up, the only thing better than ranking quarterbacks is fixing somebody else's list. And we get to do that. That's next on Speak for Yourself. This segment is about to be as close to the barbershop as it gets. So buckle up, Acho. I'm just warning y'all, too. Pro Football Focus posted their quarterback rankings heading into the 2021 NFL season. Take a look at this top 10 list. Top 4 quarterbacks on the list all have Super Bowls, and 3 guys, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Baker Mayfield, are still on extensions of their rookie deals. Now it's time to get spicy. Acho, what is your biggest gripe with this top quarterback list?
I have several. The first primary gripe is, how dare you have Dak Prescott ahead of Lamar Jackson? My first primary
With your
gripe.
chest or just...
No, that was with my chest.
In observation.
No, it was with my chest.
Oh.
Also,
Okay.
how dare you have Dak Prescott ahead of Ryan Tannehill? Also, with my chest.
Yeah, unbutton, because we about to go to war.
With my chest.
Oh, no, bro.
Let me put some respect on people's names. Now, y'all can see that's that top 5 list. Can we show them mine? Can we show them the real, more accurate top 5 list? We know who 1 through 4 is. All the dudes who won Super Bowls. Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Russell wasn't great. 5 is Josh Allen. Josh Allen is ahead of Deshaun Watson because Josh Allen has played at a higher level and also contributed to winning. Then I have Deshaun Watson because Deshaun Watson is versatile and has played at an extremely high level. Then I have my dog Lamar. Then I got my dog Lamar.
Wait a minute. You went out of order.
I didn't go out of order. Then I got my dog Lamar. Then I have Ryan Tannehill. Now, we're not going to sleep on Ryan Tannehill. I'm going to get to him in a second. Then I have Dak Prescott, and then obviously I have Baker Mayfield. Now, the questions that y'all at home are asking yourself, Ryan Tannehill, Acho, what the hell wrong with you? Ryan Tannehill, let me tell you all this. Since Ryan Tannehill took over as a starter, and y'all take out your pen and your notepads because you don't need to write all this down.
You too.
Since Ryan Tannehill took over as a starter, he's tied for 2nd in passing and rushing touchdowns, 66 in the NFL. He's tied for 3rd in passing touchdowns, 55. He is 3rd in passer rating. He's 1st in passing yards per attempt. He's 5th in wins, and he's 7th in completion percentage. Literally by every statistical metric, Ryan Tannehill is top 7, and he's only 7th in one statistical metric. So by the majority of statistical metrics, Ryan Tannehill is top 5, but that is too abstract for you all's minds, so I simply kept him at number 8. I simply kept him at 8.
Okay.
Dak Prescott behind Tannehill. He's behind Lamar. He's behind Deshaun. He's behind Josh Allen. My biggest gripe is Dak Prescott, sir, was too high.
Too high? But
he was too high.
But he still should be top 10.
Yeah, of course.
Of course, but Baker Mayfield shouldn't be top 10. Nah. No de acuerdo.
Right.
No de acuerdo, as my people say out here in Los Angeles, Angelinos. And no Ryan Tannehill. Even though I'm not taking a shot at Ryan Tannehill, I'm just saying, look, it can only be 10, damn it. You know, when the bouncer say, the fire marshal here, fire marshal here, nobody else getting in. Ryan Tannehill, stay your ass outside. You ain't getting in because the fire marshal was here.
I need your 10.
Okay, you ready?
10, yes.
And I'm going to say it in order, not like you.
Okay.
Go back and watch the tape. I don't know what order you in. All right, we know the top 4. Yeah. Okay, Josh Allen.
Yes, sir.
My brother from another.
We good at 5.
Mafia. Then Lamar Jackson.
I'm not mad.
That dude.
I'm not mad at that.
Now, they really 5A, 5B, but I got to keep my numbers clean. Deshaun
I'm not mad at that.
Watson.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if he's going to play, but we go Deshaun Watson. We both there. We together. Justin.
No.
You got to respect me.
Where's the exit door?
Can I speak for myself? You're going to Put some respect on my name. Justin Herbert, season tickets to the Charger games too, so I'll be there, Justin. Hi. Dak Prescott, and then Matthew Stafford. Let me give it to you like this, since you want to talk. And you got Baker Mayfield in there. Sorry, Baker. Fire marshal gonna let you in so I can smoke you out. Here we go. Oh, Justin Herbert versus Baker Mayfield. Last year, rookie versus best season for Baker Mayfield. Watch this. Who had a higher completion percentage? Justin Herbert. Who had more passing yards per game? By a lot. Justin Herbert. Who had more total touchdowns versus interceptions in a better ratio? Justin Herbert. Who had a better passer rating? Justin Herbert. You let a rookie beat you in your best year. Boy, stop. Get up out of here. So I just done smoked Baker Mayfield out of here. Now, let's talk about Justin Herbert in totality, because Baker Mayfield has to understand his best is not even Justin Herbert's first only. Herbert had 31 touchdown passes last season. Baker's career high is 27. You want to go back to Cleveland? Tell him this. Herbert had 4,300 yards. Baker's career high is 3,800. This sounds like Aaron Rodgers saying other people's best is my average, if not worse. Herbert had a 98 rating and 95 for Baker. Completion percentage better by 3. Hey, but you're going to tell me, what did you say? By every measurable statistic, Baker Mayfield is not better than Justin Herbert already. And you're going to put him in your top 10 and now Justin Herbert, as they say in the streets, make it make sense, homie.
Here's what you are doing. You fighting your middleweight versus my welterweight. Fight in competition.
What?
Your 8th seed was Justin Herbert. My 8th seed was Ryan Tannehill.
Okay.
Don't start fighting your middleweight versus my welterweight.
That is a great comeback.
Let's fight 8th seed versus 8th seed. Because Justin Herbert, in his one season, had a worse completion percentage than Ryan Tannehill. He had a worse passer rating than Ryan Tannehill. He was worse in yards per attempt than Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill is second in the entire NFL since taking over as a starter. So if we fighting in the same weight class, my Ryan Tannehill beats your Justin Herbert. Now, if you want to fight Stafford to Baker, we can do that.
You want to do that?
Let's do that.
Because I'm glad, because I had no idea you would be that to put Ryan Tannehill that high. So I wasn't even prepared for that battle. I could get it, but I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to pull out the nunchucks on you. But I will pull out this little blade on you. Baker Mayfield versus Matthew Stafford.
Yes, sir.
How dare you don't put respect on the veteran? You know what? You youngsters out here don't know an OG when you see him. Matthew Stafford. I wonder who has a higher completion percentage. Let's take last year, because I don't even need to do career. I don't want to do that because Matthew Stafford going to buy Baker Mayfield's career. I just want to say, Baker Mayfield, at your best, are you better than Matthew Stafford, who last year, I wouldn't say is his best, but it was a good year. Who had a higher completion percentage? Matthew Stafford, OG. Passing yards. Who had more? OG. Yards per attempt. Who had more? OG. Passer rating. Who had more? OG. Giveaways. Oh, no, we don't want to win that one. Oh, we didn't. Baker Mayfield had more giveaways. OG. Fourth quarter comebacks. Oh, you know Baker. You know, he's so poised. He ready for the fourth quarter comebacks. Who had more? OG. Now, you want to say 10 versus 10? You better go 11 versus 11, because I'm going to smoke your 10.
Marcellus, you know why I wore the number 18 in college?
Because you were happy to be an adult.
I wore the number 18 in college because my brother wore the number 81. And if you know what a palindrome is read the same front to back. Like the word mom, the word dad, the word race car, all palindromes. 1881, a palindrome. Matthew Stafford was 5-11. Baker Mayfield was 11-5. Front to back, that is a palindrome, big dog, and it does not work in Matthew Stafford's favor. Now, with that being said, Matthew Stafford been in the league how many seasons? I see 11. How many playoff games he got? Oh, wait. Baker Mayfield been in the league 3 years. How many playoff wins he got? I will not wait. He got himself one, Marcellus Wiley. Baker Mayfield had 26 passing touchdowns regular season. Stafford had 26 touchdowns. Difference is Stafford had 10 interceptions. Oh, that's not good. Now, you just told me that Baker Mayfield commands a running offense. So if Baker commands a running offense and Matthew Stafford commands a passing offense, how in God's name, the Lord Most High, do they have the same amount of passing touchdowns? That doesn't make sense. Here is the problem, Sel. as you did earlier with Cam Newton, you're doing with Matthew Stafford. You have an affinity for the past. And the problem is, Baker Mayfield has already accomplished collectively as far as team wins what Matthew Stafford hadn't accomplished in the last 11 years. And last season, Baker Mayfield had a better year in his third season than Matthew Stafford just had in his 11th season. I'm not going to go back to palindromes because I can, but I will say this, 11-5 to 5-11.
You're going to take me back to my childhood when my best years of life so far is not right now. And I love working with you. I like what I'm accomplishing. I love what I'm making. I love what I've done. But when I was a little kid and I didn't have that much, boy, I was out there getting it in football and track. You know I won the nationals in track, right? National record holder. No, being a Pro Bowler, All-Pro, NFL feels amazing. Being the fastest dude at your age walking around eating a tuna fish sandwich and chili cheese Fritos at 11 felt better. And let me tell you how I used to feel when I sit up there in that old dusty sweatsuit. No, it wasn't name brand, damn it, but my game was. I used to sit up there and hear everybody talk about how they were good. And nobody was better than me. So I'm just sitting there listening, eating my tuna fish sandwich, laughing. And then somebody will always come like you, Acho, and they got a gold medal on too. And I ain't wearing my medals because they were too many, too heavy. I ain't want to mess my neck up. And I look at that little kid, and he over there saying, yeah, this is for the relay. And I'm like, where yours at? So you try to do what he did. Insert the whole team into an argument of quarterback rankings that only got one name on it, bruh. So keep wearing them gold medals that all y'all got. And I just keep sitting up here eating my tuna fish sandwich, giggling at your lazy, sorry selves. Coming up, Dolphins head coach Brian Flores says Tua is an important piece. Yeah, he is. But how much confidence does Miami have in Tua? We'll discuss that next on Speak for Yourself. So is the whole team number 10?
The Miami Dolphins fell short of the playoffs last season, but were a winning team that showed improvement with rookie quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. Despite a 6-3 record as a starter, Tua was benched twice, which led to rumors about his future in Miami this offseason. The team stuck with Tua, but head coach Brian Flores knows he'll need the quarterback to improve for the team to win, saying, quote, Tua is an important piece. He's been working hard. He knows where he needs to improve. We talked to him about that year 1 to year 2 jump. It's a real thing. He's more comfortable. So, Marcellus, how confident should the Dolphins be in Tua?
Oh, very confident. They're trying to add resources and assets to help him out in his maturation. I know there's always the thoughts of sophomore slump, but also the game slows down to you in your second year, and the lights, especially that green light, starts to get brighter in your head. You can see things coming. And Tua, last year, I don't understand why all this Tua hate is going on. Y'all act like he didn't go 6-3 last year as a starter. That's the best record by a rookie quarterback since Dak Prescott went 13-3 in 2016. But, okay, well, everybody wants to just sleep on that stat. How about this? If you look at Tua in terms of his win percentage, it's higher than who? It's right there with Russell Wilson, Andrew Luck, and, of course, as I mentioned, Dak Prescott. But let's talk about Tua, because right now, people want to compare him and say, I don't really see it in him. If he was battling with Ryan Fitzpatrick, how good could he be? How good is Josh Allen right now? We just said top 5, 6 for sure in the NFL. Who had a better rookie season, Josh Allen or Tua? It's not even close, really, if you want to look at it. So in terms of maturation, in terms of evolving, in terms of being more, you can see that Tua can climb a mountain just like Josh Allen did. Why? Will Fuller's in the building, signed a 1-year deal. Why? Jalen Waddle was drafted 6th overall. He's in the building. We know he was a beast at Alabama. You look at all that in totality, I don't even understand why there are brakes being applied to the Tua train right now. But listen to your take, but I'm very confident in Tua next year.
I'm with you 1,000%, big dog. You hit the nail on the head. I have nothing to add, so I will just try to be like a protein shake and be a little additional something. I ain't the main course. You just provided that. Tua has already proven to the Dolphins that he is more than capable to be a quality quarterback. Rookie quarterbacks are supposed to be bad. Look at Peyton Manning. Rookie quarterbacks are supposed to be bad. Look at Cam Newton. Rookie quarterbacks are not supposed to be good. So if Tua came in as a rookie and was average, you know you can grow from there. Tua's completion percentage was 64%. The NFL average was 65. His passer rating was 87. Average was a few points higher than that. So Tua came in as a rookie and was average. If Tua's floor is already average in the NFL, then imagine what his ceiling can be. Furthermore, Marcellus gave you all the good notes about his winning percentage to other rookies, so I won't take y'all there. But I'll tell y'all this. Tua was doing so much work last year. He ranked 25th in the NFL as far as his receivers getting yards after catch, which means Tua's doing the majority of the work. We've talked about Jimmy G. Jimmy G's #1 in the NFL as his receivers yards after catch. So Jimmy G's getting a lot of help that Tua was not getting. The Dolphins have an opportunistic defense. They have a really good defense, both good, quality, and opportunistic.
Yep.
So they don't need Tua to go throw for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns. Tua, just go throw for 25 touchdowns. Go throw for 3,500 yards. Understand what you need out of the quarterback. Last thing I'll say on my lap, you got Jalen Waddle, who's supposed to be the Dolphins equivalent of Tyreek Hill, the burner. Remember, Jalen Waddle played with Tua in Alabama. Jalen Waddle will instantly provide quick relief for Tua. Dolphins, don't be worried at all about Tua. He's going to be a baller.
You mean the same Waddle that had 20 touchdowns at Alabama and the average on all those touchdowns was
37?
49 yards. What the hell? Average. Okay, yeah. And why is that going to be important to Tua and adding that to his arsenal? Because imagine going 6-3, and these are the statistics in the passing game you had to deal with. 1 touchdown over 40 yards last year, which was the fewest in the NFL. 20 yards per last season, 5 touchdowns, fewest in the NFL. 2 offensive plays over 50-plus yards last year, second to last in the NFL. And you went 6-3, and you were a rookie. Will y'all stop with this? I'm getting tired of this Tua hate. It's starting to sound like a little Kwame Brown hate, but Tua's going to right the ship. Coming up, Big Ben is back in Pittsburgh, and his teammate stinks. He still got the goods. Well,
I want to talk about Kwame again.
I know. I'm so tired of anything but that. We'll tell you if we agree with Ben Roethlisberger next. And speak for yourself. You got any more clips? Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers' 11-0 start to last season provided almost as much hope as the 1-4 finish and first-round exit caused concern. Usual Big Ben retirement rumors popped up earlier this offseason, but the Steelers stuck with Ben, and teammate Casey Hayward still believes in his quarterback, saying, quote, "We know he's an explosive quarterback that can throw the ball all over the field. But I think around him, we just got to be complimentary, whether it's on offense, defense, special teams. Ben still got the goods. Anyone that tells you otherwise, they haven't really looked at football." Oh, no, he finished with the cliche. So I tell you, does it sound like, no, the Steelers have faith in Big Ben?
They ain't got no faith in Big Ben. It sounds like they know the limitations of Big Ben, like Kwame Brown knows the limitations of Matt Barnes' hands. I'm making as many Kwame references
And
as
I
can.
am too.
It sounds like they know the limitations, Sel. Like,
Yes.
you can't have faith in somebody if there are a whole bunch of prerequisites for the faith to exist. Like, yeah, Big Ben can ball if the defense plays well, if we have a good running game and if special teams does their thing. Then, yeah, Big Ben gonna ball. I don't have faith in a chair if I got to check the weight limit. Like, is it 250 pounds?
Yes.
Like, if there are, faith can't exist if there's a contingent if. Okay, that's it. I don't know, it just came to me. Faith cannot exist if there is a contingent if. If the faith is contingent upon something else existing, then it's not faith. Big Ben balling, per Cam Hayward, is contingent upon a quality running game. Najee Harris being a baller and a rookie. It's contingent upon a quality defense. Joe Hayden, Minkah Fitzpatrick, TJ Watt. It's contingent upon special teams playing well. It's contingent upon taking a lot of relief off of Ben Roethlisberger. So as long as your faith is contingent upon something else, then it is not true faith. They don't have faith. They understand the limitations.
Nope. Nope. And if we listen to the quote again, but we're not because I don't want to read it again. I can't say it louder than Casey Hayward did. He said it. Like you said, contingencies, offense, compliment, defense, special teams, season ticket holders, hey, loyal fans, like everybody contribute to this. Bro, stop. I love the fact that you brought up how the contingencies really just let you know they don't believe. Imagine, let's go back to the first stories of life and faith. And we're talking about the Holy Book, and they're talking about walk on water. And somebody said, well, you gonna hold my hand? He said, no, walk on water, have faith. Well, is it deep? Is it water? Like, you can't
preach yourself.
Bruh.
You preach it.
There's a time we all are. And there was a time I was in the game where you're greater than your greatest excuse, you're greater than your surroundings. Like, Okay, I don't care who next to me. Watch me, and I go tear him up. Ben Roethlisberger, much greater than I, would do those same things. But now, it's not about how great he is. It's like, well, there's opposition that is as great or greater than him, so we need to support them as a collective. Offense, defense, special teams. Whenever you hear that, whenever you hear the unison, all units combined, that ain't a superpower, one, in that player. And two, when you end it by saying, well, if you don't say that, you don't know football. That exclusivity to make people who are actually smart enough to say, he ain't got it anymore, try to exclude him for the conversation. Nah, all y'all come in. Y'all right, Ben is a little off of Ben.
So it's like whenever you get into those teenage or childish arguments, childish meaning when you were a child, about like who your favorite superhero is. And people mention Superman, but then they're like, but there's kryptonite. See, everybody knows that as long as there's a weakness, then you can't have ultimate faith in Superman, because what if kryptonite is around? What if somebody bring in some kryptonite? Same thing with Big Ben. It's like, no, I can't have faith in somebody if you really know there are several factors that can cause them to falter. Now, with all that being said, like, I'm not mad at the Steelers because they are being realists, right? They're not being pessimists, nor are they being optimists. They're just being realists. And they're like, realistically speaking, this dude is old. Realistically speaking, this dude has contemplated retirement the last 3 years. Realistically speaking, he can ball if a lot of things happen. But when we talk about Patrick Mahomes, we don't say, man, they got to have a really balanced attack. The Chiefs won a Super Bowl while ranking 26th in the NFL in rushing. When we talk about Aaron Rodgers, we don't say, man, but you better hope he has a plethora of talented wide receivers. No, he has Devontae Adams and some dudes whose names are acronyms. So, like, with that being said, you don't talk about the greats and talk about all the other stuff. You just talk about the greats.
39 years old. Struggled down the stretch of the season. Haven't won a playoff game since 2016. It's not adding up well for him. Let's hijack the last 30 seconds.
Thank you. I was waiting on you, too.
You know I was coming. What's your favorite superhero?
Kwame Brown.
Flash, Aquaman, and Kwame Brown. You ain't never lied right there. Coming up, woo! LeBron James and Steph Curry. They face off tonight. But the King is complimenting Curry ahead of the matchup. We'll tell you if LeBron is being sincere in his praise. That's next, and I'm sure we're going to talk a little Kwame Brown. You better for yourself. Goodness.
Steph Curry made a strong MVP push toward the end of the season, averaging more than 37 points a game in his final 21 games to win scoring title. LeBron and the Lakers, who the Warriors face in tonight's playing game, have been very complimentary leading into the game. Bron said that Curry is the MVP, quote, in his mind, and Kyle Kuzma suggested he felt the same way. So now that I've read that 3-minute read, Marcellus, do you think the Lakers' MVP praise of Steph Curry is sincere?
Nope. Trying to butter him up, trying to soften him up. Like, nobody's going to buy this. Steph Curry even said it in quote. He was basically like, it's a good show. I like the chatter, but being real, y'all smart and y'all know why y'all saying it and when you're saying it. And I'm also smart. I know how to receive it. You're not going to soften the blow. I'm coming. I'm gunning from half court. So Steph Curry caught this.
So what you're saying is Kuzma and LeBron are kind of like Matt Barnes in his most recent video.
Let's hear it.
Trying to soften the blow. They realize there may be a confrontation with Kwame Brown. Like the Warriors realize there may be a confrontation with the Lakers. Rather than catching Steph Curry in his most volatile emotional state, like Matt Barnes was about to catch Kwame Brown in his most volatile emotional state, they tried to pay them compliments early on, saying, hey, I didn't draft you. Michael Jordan did. Hey, Steph Curry, you are the MVP, because if you can take a little bit of the steam off of Steph, like Matt's tried to take some steam off of Kwame, it will end better. The problem is, like Kwame, he ain't paying no mind, and Steph Curry might not pay any mind. That's what I heard.
Keep it coming. Now, that's all the smoke right there. I love that. Woo! Matt, Stacks, y'all my dogs. Woo! Woo! Y'all better get at Kwame, because Kwame killing this. Fox Bet Live is next.